Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sade Rose. If you are new here, if you are returning, hey fam. I am so glad that you decided to join my channel or to stop by my channel. I know it's been a while, a very, very, very long time, but I have been getting all the notifications of all my new subscribers and etc. So I'm very happy to speak with y'all today. So I know it's been a while. I'm gonna try to get through this video as best as I can because, to be honest, I've tried to put up the camera and sit here and talk to y'all many of times. However, I just have not been able to fully commit to fully get through an entire video. And it's just been extremely hard. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna pray my best that I get through majority of this video and just catch y'all up on what's been going on, what's been happening in my life, and etc. But I do want to go ahead and preface this video just to kick it. If this is a really big fat trigger warning that discusses pregnancy loss. So if that is something that triggers you or makes you uncomfortable to view and etc., please stop the video. Stop the video right here. Huge trigger warning, because I know that could be a sensitive subject to most people, and my channel has not been any trigger warnings and etc. So I just want to make sure I give everybody the opportunity to stop this video right there. But it's been about 2.5 months, maybe almost close to 3 months, since I have been on YouTube, been on TikTok, or anything outside of Instagram. You guys know I posted Raquel's prom pictures. My baby looks so gorgeous. We'll get to that. Outside of that, I have not been on social media. Taking a really huge break. Back in March, early March, I found out that I was pregnant. Taylor and I were pregnant. We have been trying since maybe October. And when I say trying, like, I downloaded some apps like the Flow app, Pre-Mom app, like those type apps, and just was kind of tracking my cycles and just kind of, you know, learning about my body, learning how all of that works, because you guys know I have not had a baby in almost 17 years, right? And I was so young, I did not do any of those things, right? And so just learning to, just trying to teach myself, you know, about all of that, you know, when to try, how to try, whatever, you know. And so we not trying a very long time, to be honest. We actually stopped in I think like January. I don't know, we just kind of like paused and was like, wait a minute, hold on, let's pause, because my cycles had just started to become extremely long due to the stress that I was kind of going through with work, to be honest. And so I was like, let's just pause, let's try to get everything back regulated. And so picked back up at the beginning of the year, right after I had got COVID. Yeah, y'all remember that I got COVID. But anywho, ended up finding out that I was pregnant. And the way I found out was I take these little pre-mom strips, and it was a very vague line, and it was a Monday too. So it was a very vague line, 2 lines. And I was like, oh no, there ain't no way. And so I end up screenshotting, taking a picture, putting it into my Facebook group with like my other like women who are trying to conceive and etc. I put that in there, and they was like, no sis, that's 2 lines, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I still couldn't even believe it. I think I was like in a little bit of shock to even see 2 lines, because to be honest, like, me and Taylor have been married for so long and etc. Honestly, to be truthfully, y'all, I didn't even think that I could even get pregnant like normal. I thought it just wasn't a possibility, because although we started trying in October, we have not been trying. Y'all know what I mean. Like we're married, we're grown, you know. I no birth control here. So it was very odd to me, and I think I was like, okay, I don't believe this. And so I already had a clear blue test, clear blue regular pregnancy test at the bottom of my cabinet, and I took that and it said negative. And so I put that in there, and then one of the other ladies was like, you're probably, you know, I think I was like very early DPO, like I'm talking maybe 10 DPO or something. I don't even know what the number was, to be honest, y'all. And that's days past ovulation, right? And she was like, you'll probably very soon get an ultra clear blue test, digital. And so I had to order that. So I ordered that and got that same day delivery from Target. And so when I took that test and I took a first response test, they both came back pregnant, positive. So I'm whispering because Taylor is upstairs, but I'm about to get ready to check to see if I'm pregnant for real. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I am 11 days past ovulation, and I don't know. I just have a feeling, y'all. I don't know. I have a feeling, but it could just be my nerves. I'm not late or anything, but I've just been peeing like crazy. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna start with the first response test. I'm turning it over. Y'all. Look at it together. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's 2. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna look at the clear blue one before I get my hopes up. Okay, y'all. Oh my god. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Lord, keep this baby safe, covered and protected, Lord. Oh my gosh, y'all. I gotta be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. They both came back pregnant positive, and y'all, I took it downstairs in this bathroom, and I was in complete shock. I was so emotional. I was thanking God. I was just like, oh my gosh, I could not believe this. Like, oh my gosh. I told y'all, like, I'm gonna try to get through this video, but like, I was in utter shock. And I think because I just knew that that wasn't the case for me and Taylor, like, so soon and etc. And I was so emotional. I was so excited, shocked, scared. It was so many different emotions. But there was a Monday. That Monday I started the chiropractor, going to the chiropractor. Yes, y'all, your girl goes to the chiropractor now for her back. So I started going to the chiropractor, and I was so emotional that afternoon. And they were like, you know, is there any chance you could be pregnant? And I was like, actually, yes. I just found out that I am. And I mean, the lady who was doing, the physician who was doing my intake, she was like, oh, wait, what? She like started going through her sentence again. Like she had another sentence prepared. And she was like, wait, did you say yes? And I was like, yeah, I just found out like 3 hours ago. And she was like, oh my gosh, can I hug you? And then I just started crying and all that, because that was the first person I told. I hadn't even told Taylor, because I was going to tell Taylor I wanted to go get some things. Like when I tell you I was not prepared at all, I wanted to go get some, like a cute little thing to get for Taylor, but I had to work that day. I had the chiropractor appointment today, and I knew I needed to run to Target to get my what I wanted to do for him. And so I end up telling her and stuff like that. And so they had to adjust my adjustment, and I'm glad that they did that, because it changes everything, right? It changes everything when you're pregnant and you're not pregnant, when you go to different type of appointments. And so I had to tell them. But anywho, I ended up telling them. I ended up telling her. And then that next day, I had to go to I ended up going to Target, and I end up getting just like, you know, cute little things and stuff like that for me to be able to tell Taylor. And I'll insert that.
All right, bye. Hey.
Yes.
Oh, we're good. Hi.
Hi.
Babe, where you get that from?
Where you mean where from? Do you see the text?
Yes.
It's three of them.
I see.
No. I know. And then I end up, I'll insert that clip, you all, whatever, I'll insert that clip in this video. And so I end up going to the gym the next morning with my trainer, and I end up telling her, Lay, I was like, hey, let's not lift anything super heavy, you know, this week. And I was like, because, you know, I think I'm pregnant. And she was so happy. We were so happy. She was like, you look so nervous. And I was like, yeah, I was like, it's so early. I was like, let's just not lift anything heavy. But I felt like, okay, that's the second person I told. That's it. After this, I'm telling my husband. But I knew I had to tell those two people. And we were so happy because my trainer has actually become a really good friend of mine, and etc. And so I felt comfortable telling her that she would not tell a soul, and etc. And so when I got home, excuse me, y'all. When I got home and everything, I set up everything, and I told Taylor that I was pregnant. And y'all, when I tell y'all, that was the most beautiful thing. It was the most simple but beautiful thing that I've done for my husband. And just the look on his face, just the look, I don't know, y'all, like when y'all tell y'all spouse that y'all are expecting or something like that, like his face just did not appear something I've ever seen. And y'all, when I tell y'all, it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And so we cried, we prayed, and all that good stuff. It was so beautiful. And there was no one here, just me and him. I didn't do no old grand thing. It was in our bedroom and stuff like that. And it was so beautiful. So beautiful. And so that Tuesday night, I started feeling tired, very tired, because I had went to the gym and I had went to the chiropractor. I was like, oh, I'm a little sore, you know, like I'm a little sore. And I ended up going downstairs and telling Taylor, like, my right hip hurts like hell. Like, oh my gosh, like it hurts. And he was like, you know, what did you do at the gym and etc. and stuff like that. And so I'm trying not, girl, y'all. So I was like, this hurts really, really bad. And I was like, I'm aching. He was like, okay, well, let's just go upstairs and take a Tylenol and let's, you know, get in the shower and let's lay down. So I laid down, got in the shower, and I didn't lay on that side. But when I tell y'all, it was hurting so bad. But I went to sleep. And so I woke up at like 2, 3 in the morning, was like, Taylor, this hurts really, really bad. It's starting to hurt right here in my right hip area and etc. You know, like it's hurting. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I just want to make sure nothing is wrong with the baby this soon, you know, whatever. Think we should go to the doctor. And then all of a sudden, y'all, it started like throbbing, like boom, 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 like real bad pain. And he was like, yeah, let's go. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's just go to the hospital. And we went to the hospital. And with this hospital is the one that's closest to us. And we end up going to this hospital, and they end up, you know, I end up telling them that I was pregnant, all that stuff. They did a urine sample. The urine sample said I was negative. So they was like, yeah, you're not pregnant. No signs of pregnancy. So I'm like, I'm taking I took like 5 or 10 tests, and they all say pregnant. So they were not believing me that my tests were saying that. And so then they had an ultrasound come in. They did not find, you know, the baby, I guess the baby sac or whatever. Y'all know I'm learning about all this, but the sac to where the baby is in my uterus, they did not see that. And so they were like, yeah, you're not pregnant. I was like, okay, can you check my HCG levels? And that was after hours of me getting tests, getting an ultrasound, waiting to get the ultrasound, waiting to get the results back from the ultrasound for me to be able to ask for that. And so by this time, it's almost close to like 4 or 5 in the morning, or maybe like 6 in the morning. And the OBGYN comes in, and she's like, I asked her, I was like, can we please test my HCG level? They test my HCG level, and at that time, they were like, yeah, we would have caught it or anything like that, and blah, blah, this. Just basically just ignoring me that I'm telling them that I think I'm pregnant. And they were like, yeah, okay. So they test my stuff, and it comes back, and the nurse comes back without the physician, and she comes taking off my stuff and all this. And I was like, you know, am I leaving? Am I good? She was like, the OB is going to come in and talk to you. And she comes back in, and she tells me that my HCG level was positive, and that they show a level of 16. They show a level of 16. And she's, you know, was like, you know, the goal for the next 48 hours is for your HCG levels to double, right? She was like, so what I need for you to do is, you know, I'm going to discharge you here. I don't see anything that results in anything is wrong or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and discharge you. Follow up with your physician in 48 hours to get another HCG test to make sure your levels are increasing. So Taylor and I called my OB once we leave the hospital, schedule that appointment, and etc. And we go and do that. We scheduled that appointment, and we scheduled that for, of course, 48 hours later, and all that good stuff. And so by this time, the pain is still there, but no signs of a miscarriage, no signs of what I honestly thought it was like an ectopic pregnancy, because I know, like, I have read about it. I hear women talk about it a lot more, and etc. and things like that. And they typically experience the type of pain that I was experiencing. But they checked the ultrasound, no signs of that. End up going to our physician appointment a few days later. He checks, there's no sac, nothing around that. They did my blood work. And we had to wait like a day for my blood work to come up. And then when my blood work came back, it only has showed that my levels had increased like 1. So I went from 16 to 17 in like 48 hours. And so me and Taylor knew, but not, my physician didn't specifically tell us then, because he kind of told us what could possibly happen. You know, like, 1, it was too soon. Your levels could, you know, double up by this time. 2, you know, your levels just don't double and they stay the same. You're eventually going to experience, you know, what they consider a chemical pregnancy. And that's basically an early pregnancy miscarriage, pretty much. It just could mean your cycle is going to come a week later or a little bit later, and etc. Just could mean a lot of different things. He was just kind of going through what could possibly happen, and etc. and he just wants to keep an eye to make sure it's not a topic or anything like that, because that could lead to, you know, further things like surgery or further complications and all that good stuff. So they're going to monitor me, you know, every few days and etc. So by this time we're going through the weekend, and me and Taylor emotions are just all over the place. We don't know how to feel. We're waiting on our second batch of blood tests and all of this. And then that Sunday we did not go to church because we had hosted our family for Raquel's track meet. They came and seen her track meet, came to her track meet and etc. And that Sunday we was laying in bed, we was watching church, and I had to go use the restroom. And before I got to the restroom, I had just felt like a wave like went through me. Like, I don't know, my body had just got numb as soon as I like got up. And I went to go use the bathroom, and here I am. It felt like my cycle was starting. That's what it gave me. But it wasn't. It was my miscarriage happening. And so I literally was quiet, and I was just sitting in our restroom. You all know I have a private like restroom or whatever from the bathroom. And so I went to the restroom, and I had took my phone with me on purpose. And so I took my phone with me, and I text Taylor and said, send Raquel to her room and tell her to start cleaning up her room. Anytime Raquel cleans up her room, she puts her music on. And y'all, he told her, and he came in there and checked on me, and I told him, like, you know, a period is starting. And I told him that I'm losing our baby, and I just screamed it out, like, I'm losing our baby, it's happening. And I literally just broke down in the bathroom on the toilet. Just completely, I don't even know what the type of pain, and I still don't even know to this day, even talking to our therapist and talking to like my family, I don't even know the type of pain that I experienced in that moment. All I know is I went numb. My husband was sitting there holding me, and he was like, come on, let's get up, let's go in the bedroom. And y'all, I'm not gonna sit here and boohoo cry, but every time I say this out loud to someone, and it ain't been very many people, and we'll get to that, but it was excruciating pain. One, two, it was the emotional and mental piece that went with it. And it literally just took over me. And I literally cried to the point to where I felt like I had a pinching headache or something just throbbing out my head. And I just cried, and I was just so emotional, and I just kept rocking back and forth and etc. And Taylor, of course, was just sitting there just holding me, just would not let me go. He was like, you know, breathe, babe. Come on, I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. It's okay. And all this stuff. And then it was at one point we were crying together and all that good stuff. And so we ended up experiencing that. And then as the night progressed and stuff, you know, we finally stopped crying and etc. I started to be in a little bit more pain. And I was like, oh, maybe it's just cramp pain and stuff. But it didn't feel like cramp pain. If I told y'all, like, this was something, my cycles don't normally start like this. They start completely smooth sailing, but this was different. And so I called my physician. He was like, you know, okay, so we know we're experiencing this. You know, I would feel more comfortable if y'all would go to the hospital and just make sure. Now it's been a few days, let's just make sure it's not, you know, anything else. Like, just go. So we went, and they checked and everything like that, and blah, blah, blah. And it was no signs of an ectopic pregnancy, no signs of anything crazy, just a chemical pregnancy, which is pretty much an early miscarriage. I believe that happens under 6 weeks or under 5 weeks, maybe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I know that it's a very, very early miscarriage. And so at this point, I'm scared at the hospital, terrified of what is going on, and I'm nervous. And so at this point, Taylor and I hadn't told anybody. Besides, by this time, my sister-in-law knows because she's a nurse, and one of my good friends, she knew as well. She had just had a baby and all that good stuff. So yes, that's who I felt comfortable going to. So we had not told our families. And so I called my mama, because y'all know how I am about my mama. Taylor called his mom and etc. And it was in the middle of the night. And so we called them, and they were of course praying for us, praying over us and stuff like that. And all that. And then they came back and was like, there's no ectopic. You will see your HCG levels and stuff like that go down. And we did. We did that whole entire next week. Our family, they called, they checked. I mean, yeah. And then that week went on, and my doctor wanted to see us at the end, like once I was done, going through whatever I was going through. And he confirmed everything. He said my HCG levels were back to 0, negative, whatever, 0. And, he was like, don't think that this was anything that you did. It's not. It just meant that the whatever, the egg or the fetus, whatever, I don't even know what to call it. It just didn't have the ability to survive, and it's okay. He explained to me, like, so many women experience a chemical because a lot of them just think that their cycle is late, but some of them don't test. Like, I was testing with my strips. That's the only way I would have knew it. But if I would not have been testing with my strips, I would have just thought my cycle was like 8 days late. And the reason why, because my cycle has been late. I've been experiencing 40-day cycles because of things that I have been going on outside of that. And so I honestly thought that was what I was experiencing or whatever. And then I started taking the strips, and they were like, yeah, you're pregnant. But he was like, most women, they don't have strips, and they're not testing like that. And most of them just think their cycle is just late. But some women are pregnant, and not most, but the women that have experienced it, but women end up pregnant, and then they just end up going through what they call an early miscarriage. And so it was the most hardest thing that I know myself and Taylor have ever experienced, because it was so many emotions so quick, right? I went from being shocked to happy to pain to scared to heartbroken, all in 7 days. And it was just a lot really soon, like a lot, like we didn't go pick out no baby clothes or anything like that. We literally was just two very just excited people to even see a positive pregnancy test, because we just knew, like, I don't know, I wasn't gonna say we just knew, we just felt as if we were gonna probably, be one of those, couples that maybe it took a while for us to get pregnant, and we were okay with that. Like, we were way better prepared to experience that, because we're like, we're just gonna try, we're just gonna have fun, for a year or something, however long it takes or whatever, until we're like, okay, yeah, we want to add in some additional help. But to see it so soon happen, and then for it to be, the situation, it was heartbroken to me. It was heartbroken for my husband. We told our friends slowly but surely, because I actually ended up taking some time away from work, because it was just mentally the best decision that I could have done. And I took some time away from like social media and etc. And so of course, like our friends who are our friends, like they know us, you know, they may know me if anything, because I'm the social media person. Taylor, he posts here and there, but they were like, you know, is everything okay? You know, I haven't heard from you. Like, how's your week? Or how's your, you know, how's it been going and stuff like that. And because it's not something that you just come out and be like, oh yeah, I just had a miscarriage. You know, it's something that you carry close to your heart and close to you. And I'm just like, yeah. But then as we told our friends, the ones that we talked to and stuff like that, and you know, like not saying the more we told, but when we did tell them and etc., it felt better, because one, you never know who else is experiencing this. Two, the support that they give you and just the love that they give you and that they pray for you and etc. is beautiful. And so very grateful for our friends and our family during this time, those who know and that did know, and just that was just beautiful to me. But definitely grateful for my amazing and most supportive husband. And I knew that my husband was a good man, Savannah, but it took that situation for me to really know what an exceptional man he is. Like, I always knew Taylor was a good man. I always knew he was a great husband, a great dad, but exceptional, supportive, kind, and just thoughtful husband. And like thinking 10 steps before me. And I'm normally the person that's 10 steps before everybody else in my household. Like, I'm already thinking about this, but Taylor took a lot of things that I just wasn't even worried about and made sure that I had them, you know, like he made sure, like, I didn't even have my phone for days. He just made sure, like, you know, like I had therapy lined up because he knew I was going to need to talk to somebody, and like we were going to need to talk to somebody. And, you know, he made sure to make arrangements for our families, and I don't know. So I say all that to say is, woo, that was a lot, y'all. I say all that to say is, that's where we've been at. That's what we've been going through. I'm normally not as emotional at all. It's just me talking it out gets me emotional. But I know this subject can be hard for a lot of women. Y'all know my channel has been home decor, lifestyle, traveling, and fun. But sometimes in life you go through loss, you go through, you know, heartbreak, you go through pain and etc. And I wouldn't be my true authentic self without expressing that. It's just when I wanted to, you know, let people in, let the world in. And sometimes the world can be very cruel, but I do know that, you know, God has got us. He's seen me through this. It could have been a whole different scenario that I've learned recently, that a lot of other women go through a whole different of experience with loss. And so I am praying for any and everybody who is trying to conceive, who is paused on trying to conceive, who is pregnant right now. And I'm just praying for all of us that we are covered and we are kept, and that God is holding our hands and continue to hold our hand. A lot of people say, you know, like they're praying for us, they're praying for y'all, they're praying for me, and etc. But I'm just like, please, if you have it in you, pray for my amazing husband, because he was just a rock star throughout this. And that was something I felt like we had not really had necessarily in our marriage. We've lost family members, we've lost friends and etc., or we've, you know, lost jobs and stuff, but like true loss to know when your spouse is going to show up for you when you possibly cannot show up for yourself is a beautiful sight to see. It's hard in the moment, but looking back and reflecting back, my husband definitely is amazing. And our families and our friends are. And of course, Raquel is too. Once we told her what was going on, she was instantly in, you know, Raquel mode. You know, Raquel's already a big sister to her other brothers, and she's very, you know how Raquel is about me. She's very, you know, close with me. She's very all about her mom and her stepdad, and so she just wanted to make sure I was fine and everything. And so I'm not gonna say that I am back with blogs or anything like that. I just felt like I needed to get this out there to y'all. I know this video has been 30 minutes, but when I was searching on YouTube and TikTok and stuff on chemical pregnancies, it was not as common as most women talk about, especially not common with Black women. And that's okay, right? Like, and that's okay. And I'm no expertise at all. I don't even want to be an expertise, you know. I don't want to learn no more. I just want to learn how to heal and continue to work through those methods. But there was not a lot of information out there, and so I'm sharing my story and etc. To know what I had, and I did not have any other symptoms besides my hip was hurting. And to be honest, I think my hip was hurting just because my adjustment, but no other symptoms and etc. It just was not the time. And it took me a minute to get to that point to say it was just not the time, because I thought it might have been something that I had did, but rest assured, for me, it was nothing that I did. And I know a lot of us women, we feel like it's something that we do or it's us, and we typically like to internalize it, but it's not us, right? Like, it's not us. It doesn't mean you weren't taking enough prenatal vitamins or anything like that. It's just, it wasn't us at that time, you know. And I'm not gonna blame myself until some science say that it's me. I'm not gonna blame myself, because I'm not gonna internalize that in my mental. But this video is getting super long, y'all. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Those who have reached out to me, which have been many of y'all, I'm gonna still be replying back on Instagram. Thank y'all for reaching out. I am okay. I'm going to continue to do better to be okay, and we're going to be fine. And throughout this journey and throughout this experience of trying to conceive, I will try to keep you guys as updated as possible. If that's something that me and Taylor decide we want to do, I will continue to be vulnerable. But yeah, y'all, sorry. This is such a long video, but yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, pray. And I'm praying for y'all and all those mamas out there. Y'all, we're gonna get our baby. And I love y'all. Bye, y'all.